not a coincidence that when Jesus came to earth, he identified himself as the bread which came down from heaven. He's referencing that passage that we read for the Old Testament reading in Exodus chapter 16, where God fed the Israelites with manna from heaven. And Jesus says, I am the bread which came down from heaven, John chapter 6. And if you remember John chapter 6, that whole story happens because Jesus had just fed this multitude with bread. He performed a miracle. He gave them physical loaves to eat, and they come to him because they want more bread. And Jesus responds, and he says to them, here's what you need to know. What you really need is me. I'm the loaf, Jesus tells the crowd, to their disappointment. If you really want to find nourishment and satisfaction in life, Jesus says, you need me. And in the history of interpretation on this passage, commentators have recognized that God's daily physical provision in our lives is meant to help our minds sort of be raised up, to elevate our thoughts to the spiritual provision, to the fact that we need God's grace every single day. In the same way that our bodies are nourished by bread, by food every day, our souls are to be nourished by Jesus, by his word and by his grace. In fact, that was one of the lessons that God was trying to teach his people way back with the manna in the wilderness in the Old Testament. And in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3, Moses told the children of Israel, God humbled you. He let you hunger and he fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. In the same way that bread is to daily nourish our bodies, Jesus Christ is to be the daily nourishment of our souls. And one of the ways that you and I receive Jesus every day is through his word, is through Holy Scripture.